saying happy 2021. That's right. It has happened. We are out of this crappy year of 2020 and we are here in 2021. The Think Different podcast has returned after the holidays and I'm so happy to be here with every single one of you. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have never listened to our podcast before, well, don't worry. I'm going to tell you exactly who we are. We are former Apple employees. We have a combined experience of about 23 years in Apple retail, working as creatives, geniuses, specialists, concierges, every possible role you could think of. We have done it, or at least been a part of it, and we're here to talk about the Apple world. I am Will, the TLD, along with my co-host. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Mr. Keto Frank Funk, always here with us in 2021. But no, he's not alone. He snatched a kid from some random place, and he has, I guess his name is Cole, we found out. So Frank, tell me a little bit about Cole. Where did you find him?
He was out on the street on his scooter. And, he fell over, and I said, well, come on in, and I'm doing a podcast. Come in and listen. And so
he's a big fan of the Think Different podcast. That's why he wanted to come in. So Cole, introduce yourself and how old you are to use Apple products, stuff like that.
I'm 15. I've been using them since I was probably, 5.
And Cole's a big fan. He watches all of our videos. Of course he does. And we wanted to come back here not only on YouTube for this episode, but check out all of our old episodes here on YouTube channel, including the home automation, where you get to see a tour of my house right before the child was born. And by the way, if anybody cares, my child's doing very well. You know, the belly button's all healed up, from everything, so that's good. He's growing, he's got some hair.
He saw his first Dallas victory.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. He was very happy about that, by the way.
I'll bet he was. It's a good thing I didn't bet you another lunch. I would have lost again.
Yes.
Shirt on those damn Eagles.
Yeah, well, I hope the damn Eagles do very well this week. Not only will the Cowboys win, but the Eagles will beat Redskins, which I'm still going to call them that. They're going to be the Redskins, and then
football team will.
Yeah, whatever. And then they're going to go on and win the World Series. But until then, let's talk about
World Series.
Shut up. Let's now talk about the top 5 stupidest products or moments of 2020 from Apple. So that's what our list was this week. If you want to hear the top 5, well, we did that last week. You can download episode number 74 and 73. We had the top 5 there. So now, Frank, I'm going to start off with you. We're going to go with the top 5 stupidest products or moments from Apple, and I have to hear what you're going to say.
So for number 5, I have the Mac performance problems based on Big Sur. Now, I've been using Big Sur since it came out. I don't have any performance problems. So that's why this has gotten a lot of press on the web, and I haven't experienced any issues with it. So I don't know. That's why I put it as 5. It's gotten a lot of airplay, so I figured, well, maybe it's worth noting, but I haven't had any problems with it.
I sure haven't, because I haven't upgraded to Big Sur.
Well, there you go. That's a good reason.
Yeah, I've been kind of busy, with making a child. Yeah. Now, my number 5 is Apple's fight with Epic Games. Now, that's interesting because my top 5 was actually the same thing. But I'm changing my stance a little bit on the negative side, because Apple decided to change the policies around regarding how the companies that don't make more than $1 million, they finally changed a policy around. And if it wasn't for Epic Games suing them, they would have never done this. So I think Apple needed to, it shouldn't take this level to make that change occur.
Well, listen, I've talked about this pretty extensively.
We have
with you, and I worked in the publishing industry prior to my Apple career, and I got to tell you, I'm siding with Apple on this, because 30% is a very fair price for what you're getting. People forget that now that the software is easily delivered via download, they're forgetting what used to have to happen when you bought a book or software. You had to have it mass produced. You had to box it. You had to shelve it. And no matter where you sold it, you as the manufacturer had to adhere to the requests of the stores you wanted to house your product, whether it be Walmart, whether it be GameStop, whether it be whatever. You had to do what they wanted you to do. And they took a percentage of what you sold it for. Now, just because Apple has a bigger store and they're giving the manufacturers access to billions of customers worldwide, okay, the manufacturer has nothing, they don't have to do anything other than put their product out on the App Store. And 30%, which is no different than any of the other outlets, the only reason people are going after Apple is simply because they're top dog. And, being, number one in an area, you get a target painted on your back and everybody's trying to bring you down. But I don't think that 30% is unfair.
Right.
I really don't.
And that's always been the argument. And, I think that for the smaller companies, it's a great thing. On top of that, since we've last spoke about it, we haven't done too much news in the last couple of weeks, but Samsung was selling their tablets, and then they had a free Fortnite box. I'm going to post it on this video, but if you look online, look for free Fortnite Samsung. There's like a jacket there that comes with the tablet. It says free Fortnite on there and explains, Samsung's stance with it. So they're getting on Apple about it. It's like this is how Samsung does things. They always make fun of Apple on something, and then they go ahead and do it themselves.
Well, look at it this way. Would Fortnite be where it is if it wasn't for the Apple Store?
I don't think it'd be as popular, but I think it'd still do well.
Right. So let's look at it this way. From a court perspective, if you're saying that Apple's getting too much money, all right, so since prior to when you got on the App Store, what were your sales? Then when you got on the App Store, what were your sales to date, year to date, okay? Or actually conception to date. So if you take that out of the equation, based on your prior sales to the App Store, what were your projected sales? I think you would see that without the Apple Store, their sales would have increased, but not as dramatically as they did with the App Store.
Well,
they paid 30%. So come on.
I'd be curious what numbers they are now, but obviously they're not going to reveal that.
That's right. Neither company will reveal the true number, but in court that could be sealed, and So
but you have to understand, like, my reasoning on that is just because they finally made a decision, but it had to take something like this to make that decision.
Well, I think they wanted to soften their image.
Right, of course, yeah.
And that's why they did that.
Right. Fortnite's not their only game either.
Right.
This
Right.
is a $1 million corporation.
Yeah.
They got their own game store and.
Right, and that's our point too, is that they already make a lot of money. They're not like a little guy that you're describing. They're a very big company. They're not a little guy. Like a bunch of people I know who are making apps for free because there's no way they have the marketing material to put up on the App Store for 99 cents or for Apple to take the cut. So, Frank, what was your number 4?
Well, that was my number 4, the Fortnite.
Okay.
All right. Now, my number 3 is...
well, let me do my number 4 then, man. You're skipping me. It's still my turn if you already got number 4 down. All right. Now, this is something that nobody should probably buy in the middle of a pandemic, but the AirPods Max. I think that is one of the... Now, I'm sure they sound great. I'm sure the design is great. But the Mac Pro is great too. But I'm not going to pay for that power because I don't need it. It's not, and I'm comparing them. This is like a Mac Pro of AirPods. First off, they shouldn't be called AirPods because they are not going in your ear and they're not pods.
Yeah, right.
Okay, and 2, they cost $549. So, hey Cole, I have a question. Would your parents buy you $549 pair of headphones?
No.
No. And why not?
There's no need for a $540 pair.
Well,
Well, Frank will tell you different because he's a musician, so he would tell you different.
well, let's define a need. These are not designed or not. They weren't built and made operable, and they're not selling to the average person.
You're damn right they're not.
That way.
You got
But
that
they're
right.
being sold to the audiophiles. Okay,
I
so
agree with that. I can.
Is
It's more
the
like the music industry.
is the price extremely high? Yes, and it's on my list, but it happens to be my number one item.
Oh, okay.
I think it's number one for me because A, of the price, and B, it has to be marketed to such a just to the audiophiles. So their sales, it's not, I'm not going to go in and buy it for him as much as I love him. Okay, I'm not going to spend. If I'm going to spend $549 for headphones, it's going to be for me.
Right. Yeah.
I'll get them eventually.
Even if I got the 25% discount at working at Apple, I would still not buy them. Like that. That's how much they are.
Yeah.
Like it's just too much.
If I was going to spend that kind of money, I'd buy 2 new HomePods.
Yeah, exactly. You could buy so much more stuff with that. You could buy the new iPad Air is $599. It's literally $50 more, to buy that. It's like, come on, like it's so dumb. It's such a really, what a mistake that was.
Well,
and to call them AirPods too is probably my thing I hate the most, because AirPods are, they're completely different. Like these are AirPods. This is what they are. Okay, so the fact that they put these and called them that, and I'm sure they just sound great, and I'm sure the design is well made.
Right. Again, I just think that, and the fact that they had an event for them made it appear as though this was going to be something that every Apple user is going to want. And I don't think that's the case.
Well, they didn't make an event on purpose because they knew that they would get backlash for it.
Yeah. So,
They purposely made sure that didn't happen. Frank, what is your number 3?
my number 3 is the anti-competitive accusations that Apple is enduring. Non-Apple people tend to look at Apple and say, well, it's an enclosed environment. If I want to buy an Apple product, I want to do what I want to do on it. Well, then Apple products are not for you. What people don't realize is that once you buy a Mac and you buy into their infrastructure, all of their products work seamlessly in that infrastructure. And that is part and parcel of what you're purchasing when you purchase any Apple product. They're getting a lot of flack because they're saying, well, they're anti-competitive. No, these are the rules. This is the box. Okay?
That's the box?
That's the box. If you want to play on the sandbox, you have to adhere to these rules. And again, anti-competitive? Why? There's plenty of Dell machines out there. There's plenty of Samsung machines out there. Yeah. If you don't want an Apple, there's plenty out there that you can buy. But don't complain about all the viruses you get. Don't complain that your Androids have how many different operating systems and they don't work with one another. With the Mac, and Apple, all of that is taken care of. I got a friend who has an iMac. In fact, he has 2 iMacs. He's got 2 iMacs. He's got an iPad. He's got an MacBook Pro, and he's got a Samsung phone. And he says, "Oh, I'm so mad. I gotta put my contacts in." I'm like, "Dude, I told you when you bought it. You brought on that extra work yourself." Because he's also an accountant, so kind of tight with the bucks. So instead of, I said, now, how much is all that connectivity worth? Is it worth a couple $100 extra? And he's like, well, I said, well, then there you go. You should have listened to me. You should have listened to your computer consultant.
Yeah, but you as a computer consultant don't consult me when your wife's having problems with her iPhone 12.
I didn't want to bother you. I knew you were with Lucas and
But forget my baby. Don't worry about him. He's fine. He's sleeping all the damn time. What is he care? Oh yeah, he's gonna wait. He's gonna grow up and be like, oh, Uncle Frank, you interrupted me that one day that I was like born. I couldn't even barely see my father. You know, yeah, he's gonna be pissed off at you.
Yeah.
So my number three is there were no computer design changes this year. I was kind of expecting Apple to do a new iMac, maybe fresh up the MacBook Pro. I mean, the last change we had was the 16-inch MacBook Pro. After that, we have not had a change at all in 2020. Now that I could kind of understand because of the pandemic. I'm going to put that as like a possibility of why. But there wasn't any change to really anything on the computer. You know, even with the new M1 Max that came out, we're still dealing with an old camera, and you know they didn't even upgrade that. You know, so literally they took the guts, they took the outside shell of a MacBook Air, just threw this in there, and then put it all back together, and you have your Mac now. So I was hoping they would do a little bit
for a larger battery. So,
but as I told you, I predicted that next year I do expect to see a lot of design changes coming through, especially on the iMac and the MacBook Pro. I do expect some changes to happen. Yeah. Well, we're gonna be down to number 2 now, Frank. Since we already have your number 1, this is kind of your number 1 now. So,
no, my number 2 was the fact that the COVID-19 forced the Apple retail stores to basically close and really alter the way they're doing business. And originally they just closed down like everything else. Then they reopened, and then recently they adjusted how they're doing business again. Now, the store near me, the whole front of the store is blocked off. They have 3 windows, and you have to.
It's like going to a bus terminal.
Yeah, you have to order online. You can either have it delivered to your home or pick it up. Now, if you're going to order online, why you would go to the store and pick it up is beyond me. Why would you just have it delivered? So, but
gives people something to do.
I think that it's been disappointing to me because, you know, I would go up to the store and, you know, see what's going on, touch different products, feel them, like the minis, you know, the HomePod mini. I would like to see that. But, you know, what are you going to do? That's the way things are. Hopefully 2021 that'll all change, but you never know.
An employee sent me pictures of the Express, and also they showed me behind the Express how everything's kind of laid out. I mean, the old wood tables have no product on it. It's just simply bags or product there, or quick grabs, things like that. Very interesting setup. Very, very interesting. That's the way it is. You know, it's going to be like that for a while. I'd like to just go there and just see what it looks like. Now, my battery on my phone is at 83% capacity, so we're getting close to where I'm going to have to get the battery changed on this. Yeah. So I'm going to have to take it to a store, and I'm sure it's going to be during this Express, you know, time frame. So that'll be interesting to go see it now.
So essentially, they took all the back of house and moved it
in the front. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure the Mac, I'm sure all the serialized products are back there, but there's AirPods, there's bags, there's like very quick things that are all right there on the tables, so that way they could easily just, you know, bring it up there.
But if somebody orders something and says, "I'll pick it up at the store," it's bagged and has their name on it, and when you get to the store, you just look for that.
Now, my number 2 is the iPhone 12.
Oh, come on.
Now, I already discussed this whole thing. I went on a humongous rant, which then you said you agree with everything I said, yet you still bought the phone. So if you go back to our episode 66, I talked about why the iPhone sucks and how it's scamming customers because of the 5G, the fakeness of the 5G, how the MagSafe is not as strong as Apple though claims it's going to be. You know, how Verizon was like, touting how great their 5G is and how it's going to change the world. There was just a lot of things about this phone I just didn't like. And on top of it, the Max and the Pro Max and the Pro have different sensors in their lenses. So really doesn't matter. There is a difference now on why you should buy the Max over the regular Pro. So that is my number 12 because it's one of the most deceiving iPhones I've ever seen.
Well, I think it's one of those products where it's kind of ahead of the 5G technology.
And don't talk about 5G 6 to 7 times on their keynote.
Well, that's the marketing thing. All of the carriers are talking about it, and and they all have different levels of it, and not all cities have the same. So it's it's in its
Cole. Now let's ask Cole. Cole, what do you think of that? All the things I just said.
I'm kind of agreeing with Will here.
Yeah. You have an iPhone 12?
They took an iPhone 5, just made it bigger, threw some new stuff in there, and said, "Here you go."
Yeah. And on top of it, they're design-wise, I love design. Design is probably better than what I have now. But regarding like what they're trying to do with that phone and what they're promoting it is a problem. What's that? Oh yeah. What do you use LiDAR for? Tell me what LiDAR is.
Low level light. I use it when I take low level light pictures.
Okay.
Actually, that one is impressive.
The low light performance, yes, I'm not denying that the phone's like performance is not good. I will never deny that, but it's a very misleading phone. Like I said, but I pop open the page and I go to iPhone 12. The first thing I see is a 5G on it.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, if you wanted to get the best quality phone, the iPhone 12 mini, because now they have that 5.4-inch display now at that very safe size that old people, not you, Frank, because you're different, but old people that like to hold in their hand.
Yep.
That's a damn good phone. And if you're coming from like a 10R or a 10, if you just get a regular 12, you'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I just thought of something that I could add to my list, and that is I was very disappointed that when they came out with the new M1 chip, if you bought a MacBook Air recently, I was very disappointed at the value that they would give you as a trade-in.
And what was that value?
I want to say it was like $600. It wasn't a lot at all.
But that's all the time Apple does that. Every time.
Yeah, I know.
I have a $3,000 computer I bought 4 years ago. It's worth $600 to them. Like it's probably something around that.
Well, he's the one that bought the MacBook for school, and
oh yeah, I use it for CAD. That it works really well.
Yeah, and I was hoping that he would get a reasonable amount and then get the new one with the M1, but it wasn't working out.
Well, go on Facebook Marketplace and sell it yourself. I mean, honestly, that's the best thing you could do.
Yeah,
that's your best option. You'll get a reasonable value for it. So you probably could add like another $100-$200 on top of that. You could probably sell it for $800. Depends on I don't know what specs it is, but look at it like that.
I don't need anything. It's just drawing.
Yep.
Engineering. That's it.
Yeah, but I think the values have always been bad. What do you think my number one is, Frank? After everything I just talked about, what was the number one moment or stupid product that I put down? Think about it.
I thought it was your iPhone 12.
Well, let's just say the iPhone 12 has something to do with it.
Oh. Well, what were we talking about? Well, it can't be cameras because the cameras are good.
No. What? I'll just tell you. The power adapter debacle.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, we were talking.
My number one stupidest moment from Apple is that iPhone no longer includes a power adapter on every model, not just the iPhone 12. So think about this, Cole. It's your first iPhone. You've never had an iPhone before, right? You're going to open the box, right? You love it so much. You're holding it. You smell the Apple smell that comes off of those boxes. You have your cord, and then you realize you have nowhere to plug it into. How would you feel?
Terrible, because then I have to go buy another adapter.
Right.
That's right.
Now, hopefully, someone that sells you this phone would tell you about that. But think about someone like my mother-in-law who never had a smart device in her life. She ended up getting an iPhone SE. And that is when the power adapter was in it. Then when the iPhone 12 came out, they said no power adapters in any phone. That means if she would have bought the phone today, she would have no power adapter, and the only one she owns is from her iPad Air. It was one of the dumbest decisions. And then Apple had this woman standing on the roof of the Apple campus talking about the environment and using the environment as the excuse to get rid of the power adapter. Are they wrong about that? No. But the fact that they took it out of every phone is my gripe with it. And it's a USB-C on the iPhone 12, which means that if you don't have a USB-C power adapter in your home, then you're screwed and you have to buy a power adapter.
Yep, which I did, 2 of them.
Yeah, well, so that cost Frank another, what, another $50?
Yeah. So now, and again, this may be just my thinking, but it would have been nice if they said we're going to not have it in the box, but the price, we're going to reduce the price by the amount of the adapter. And if you need an adapter, then you're back up to, Now,
Apple did put more watts in the power adapter.
Yes.
Under the $19 price point, because remember, 5-watt adapters were $19.
Yeah.
So that is true. So they give you more wattage, but at the same price. So they've kind of counteracted with it. But again, same deal. iPads, they have a power adapter in their box.
Yeah.
But iPhones don't. So as far as just like environmental reason, it's a bunch of BS. Even the HomePod is using one of those bricks. Same deal. You have to, imagine they sold you a HomePod Mini and didn't give you a power adapter in it.
Yeah.
It's like it's $99, but you have to pay $20 to plug it into something. It's like,
yeah. Yep.
It's pretty dumb. So
sometimes I question some of their marketing, but hey.
Did you know about that, Cole? Did you know about that power adapter, whole thing? You didn't know about that? Yeah, Frank, Grandpa Frank, how come you didn't tell him about that?
Well, because I was just going to sell him my 10, and then he was going to buy my 10, and then I would give him a discount on the power adapter that goes with it.
Yeah.
Oh, what a nice guy. You know what I'm going to do? Every time I sell an iPhone now, I'm going to say, well, I'm not going to include the power adapter, but I'll put it in there for $10.
Yep, there you go.
Because you know what? That's the Apple way of doing things.
That's right.
There's the Apple way, and this was the Apple way. It's one of the dumbest things I've seen all year. Again, I think it's a mistake, and we're not ready for it yet. We could be ready for it for iPhone 13, but because we're using a USB-C to Lightning connector, that is my problem with it. Now, of course, like I've always mentioned, you could use the old USB-A to, the old power adapter. It will work, but it will not charge it fast, which again is another feature in the 12 that you can't take advantage of.
Well, now, you did mention the MagSafe, and I bought the MagSafe power adapters. People saying that it comes off easy. I don't have that problem. I don't know what they're talking about. I really don't. I mean, if I go to pick up my phone, that charger comes with it. I physically have to pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't, unless they have a third market case on there that's thicker or something, I don't know. Now the other thing, I'm not crazy about the wallet that goes.
Not a lot of people are.
I don't know why they would come out.
Basically, Cole, if you had skinny jeans, do you have skinny jeans, Cole?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so that wallet would likely fall out the moment you slide into your pocket.
They have what the wallet is. They have a pouch that goes on the back that magnetically adheres to the back of the phone, and you put a credit card or whatever in there.
You can only put 2 things in it, basically. By the way, you can only put like 2 or 3 things max.
Seen that.
Yeah.
And if you go look at the videos of it sliding right off, like for people, especially skinny jeans.
Just use a wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I use a wallet. I have a wallet. I need a lot of stuff. I have so many credit cards. There's no way I can handle it. As much as Apple Pay is a widely used item, There's still things I have to use a credit card for, people. It's not there. We're not there yet. So, Frank, that's our top 5 worst moments or products in Apple. I know I would say that my list was definitely a lot better than yours because you still praised Apple. I had real stupid things on there, especially the power adapter. That thing is just that is the stupidest decision they made all year. Honestly, the AirPods Max was very close to going higher on the list, but they're so new, so I'm not gonna kill it.
Well, what can I say? Well, I'm just a fanboy.
Yeah, I'm a fanboy too. Don't get me wrong. I have all Apple products all over my home. Trust me, I'm a fanboy. But when I see stupid things like this, like taking a power adapter out of every iPhone and, not telling anybody, especially new people,
it's part of the surprise.
I'm surprised I'm keeping you on this podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming on for another week here of the Think Different podcast. We will be back here next week, and we're here every single Friday, not only on YouTube, but on our podcast platform. Cole, thank you very much for coming on. You want to tell people your Snapchat handle?
Nah.
Okay.
I do have Instagram, though. Cole_Funk5.
Cole_Funk5. All right. Well, while the funks are getting funky in their home, I'm going to be going to attend to my baby. Hopefully he's breathing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us for the Think Different podcast. And I love every single one of you.
Peace out.
See ya.